Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to make some shabby chic Christmas ornaments using these two wooden ornaments from Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to take some of these pieces of Inferma. We're going to put these on the ornaments. Now the pictures I got from Amazon, I will make sure those are linked down below. And then this scrap paper I actually got from Hobby Lobby. So we're going to do a simple Mod Podge, basically these papers onto the tops of our little wooden sleds. Now this one was going to be a little tricky because it does have a bunch of cutouts in the wood, so I'm just going to do what I do best and just kind of piece it on there, and again, not worrying about it looking perfect. I want it to look roughed up and rugged, which is why I'm just going to rip the pieces off of the edges of this paper just to kind of help it fit when I go ahead and glue this down. So these Christmas photos, I actually purchased these off of Amazon, and all I wanted was some kind of vintage, old-timey feel Christmas. And that's one of my favorite things about Christmas, is because it is very nostalgic. So I love everything that just reminds me of my childhood, or even, what it was like when my parents were growing up. And so I love these images, and I thought that this little girl was just so pretty. She would make a perfect centerpiece for this particular ornament. So I'm going to use this paint. It's called Vintage Rose, and it's by Folk Art. I absolutely love this color. It is just such a pretty shade of pink, and I use it quite often. We're just going to go ahead and color the front end of this sled here, and I'm just going to use this little foam brush. It doesn't have to be anything special. And we're just going to go ahead, even getting it on the image itself a little bit. And for the rest of the sled itself, I'm just going to just use a straight white color. And I'm going to get every part of the sled that I haven't already painted. So we're talking the sides, we're talking the back, all of it. And for this sled, we're going to just use the white. I do like the color with this particular paper that I used. And again, we're painting all of the wood, back, front, sides, everything. Okay, so now this is my favorite part. I love when I get to create the embellishments for things. And using the clay has been probably the most fun that I've had, besides just using straight up hot glue, which if you've been to my channel before, you know that that is probably my favorite technique, is using hot glue in these silicone molds because it makes a very quick, fast embellishment. Whereas using the air dry clay, the clay does take about 24 hours to completely harden. But this clay itself, this is just I think it's Crayola air dry clay. And it actually starts to harden up quite quickly. So what I had to start doing is putting some cornstarch in my silicone molds so that way I can easily peel off the mold and have my clay still pliable. I'm still working on how to slice off the back and you know, have it come out completely where I don't have to do this cutting out of all the excess clay, but it's okay. I don't mind it. I enjoy doing it. And again, everybody I know has their own methods if they work with clay. And I've seen a lot of comments already where they tell me how they do it, and you know, and I appreciate that. I will find my way. I promise you guys. So all I have to do here at this point is I'm just going to put a little bit of Mod Podge on the back of my clay, and then we are going to place it down on the sled. It works a lot better when it is still pliable. I used to kind of let it dry just a little bit, but then it would start to crack. And I don't want to do that. So I have learned my lesson and we are going to make sure that when we are placing these down, that it is still pliable and we can move it and mold it the way that we see fit for our project. And again, just adding a little bit of cornstarch in my mold, especially the ones that are pretty detailed, because I want to make sure I can pull this clay back out and I will have that image perfect. And that's exactly what happens here. I get this cute little cherub and I love it. It's adorable. And it's actually, you guys, so simple to remove that excess clay. As you see here, I'm just using my little X-Acto knife and just cutting right around the edges real easily. And yes, the video is sped up, so do take your time if you're using an X-Acto knife, of course. But it's just so simple to do, guys. And again, just using a little bit of Mod Podge again, putting it on the back of the clay and placing my decal down. So going back to my little foam brush, I am going to take some of this folk art chalk paint. I believe the color was Java. I might be wrong. I have to double check. But it is a darker brown. I absolutely love this color. I wanted to give it just a little bit of a more gritty, I guess, dirtier feel. And again, if y'all know me, I enjoy these things looking aged and well used and loved. And I love that gritty feeling to them. So that's why I'm kind of getting those edges there. I'm getting it all over on this sleigh. It's going to be on all the edges. It's on the embellishments. I'm going to do it on both of these ornaments just to give it more depth and feel that these ornaments have been around a while and they are well loved. Now, adding to those layers of that depth, I'm coming back in with my white chalk paint again, and just using this brush, I'm just going to go over that brown color, and it's not completely hiding it. It's just giving it just a softer feel, but yet you still have that deep brown underneath that's giving it that age. And I love this look. I love this technique. I'm definitely going to use it a lot more, I think, when it comes to aging my projects that I'm making. But it's beautiful. I absolutely love doing that. So don't be afraid to mix and match your colors when it comes to adding depth and character to your projects. So real quick here, I know that my angle's a little off, but I'm using a nail file and I'm using that to trim off smoothly the edges of my decoupage paper that is on this ornament. Once it's dry, once you put your final layer of that decoupage on top of your paper, and if you have that excess pieces that are hanging over the edges, using a nail file will give you a real quick, smooth, clean edge of getting that paper off without ripping or tearing or, you know, using scissors or whatever, especially in those little hard to reach areas. So just wanted to throw that in there if you've never tried that before. Using a nail file for the little itty bitty spots, or just using like a sanding block or sanding paper on like larger areas, it'll help you every single time getting a smooth, clean finish to the edges of anything that you've decoupaged. And again, here we go. I'm using the brown again, kind of dirtying this up, adding a little bit more texture. And what you guys didn't see, because I cut it out of this video, but that ornament broke. So, of course, you know, I had to glue it back together. It wasn't anything major, but it did kind of just fall apart in my hands, which, you know, what can you expect? But I fixed it real easy with some hot glue. Now, we're already into the point where I'm adding some more texture, and I use this grit paste, and this is from Tim Holtz's line. Love using grit paste. If you don't have it, if you don't want to spend the money for this stuff, you can always use just flour and glue, you know, make your own texture. You can use the cheap caulking stuff from Dollar Tree as well to add texture. And I just wanted to, you know, not like a moldy texture. I'm not sure how to explain it, but just texture, just having that gritty feeling to the project, again, to enhance the age of it, to make it feel like it's a lot older, that it's been maybe lying in a box, just aging and just having things grow on it. I don't know. I know I'm getting way out there, but you guys know what I mean when I'm when I'm talking about this. There's something about that look that I am just obsessed with, and I love that feel that it gives. And yeah, so again, I use grit paste. This is from Tim Holtz, but if you guys don't have that, or you want something a little bit cheaper, try using caulking paste, or I guess it's caulking paste, or try making your own, just using flour or cornstarch and water, just anything, maybe coffee grinds, cinnamon, you know, whatever. You can do so many things with stuff you already have, and I'm all for using what you have already. So once that stuff has dried, I'm going back over it again with my little foam brush. At this point, it's had every color that I've used here, I think. And I don't care. It's all getting mixed up anyway, so it works. But I'm going back over it with the brown. Again, just giving it a little bit more dirty, gritty feel, that more depth that I love. And yeah, I'm loving this. And I'm so sorry, you guys. I feel like I'm just talking through this whole video, but I really like to help explain to everyone. I've tried to do the non-voice videos, and I know a lot of you were not liking that as much. So I'm here to explain it, you guys. If you don't want to listen, that's fine. Here, just a real simple bow. Take a piece of lace, make a little finger bow, and then I'm again taking some of that brown again and just kind of dirtying up the lace a little bit so it looks a little bit worn, matches everything else on there, and easy peasy. We're just going to glue it right on the top of this ornament, and I'm not going to keep it as I'm kind of making it scrappy, so that's why I cut the loops there. You can do whatever you want with that. And I'm just adding a little embellishment. Again, that is a little bead that I took off of a barrette. I broke down a barrette that I got from Dollar Tree, and I just took that little pearl bead thing and stuck it right in the middle. Easy peasy, love it. And just to add the hanger back on my my ornament, because we can't hang it if we don't have the little loop there. And I'm just taking a piece of lace that I had lying around, and I think it works perfectly. I do the same thing for this ornament itself. I didn't add any bows to this one. I just kind of left it as is. I felt like there was enough going on, but please feel free, make it your own, add as many bows and frills and whistles and everything as you would like, because that's what's fun about this. You make it your own. These are the final looks on these two ornaments, you guys. I love them. They're going to hang on my tree this year. I am so obsessed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are new here, you know the whole YouTube spiel. I hope you stick around. I hope you hit the like button, hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, If you are a returning friend, thank you guys so much. I love y'all. Drop a comment down below. And until next time, you guys, stay safe. Love y'all. Take care.